Well, I really don't understand what the Yorubas are dragging with the Igbos. To start with, the Igbos and Yorubas did not start on a level ground. The Igbos started with 20 pounds. 20 pounds, so 1970, 20 pounds. And this is the level we are. That alone, I think, is a surprise package to many of them. Well, I saw this video, though it's not a new video anyway. The man they call primate called Genegana, where the mother look at what this man is saying in a church. Is that church? I don't know which place is that. The man said that a curse is following him and his Yoruba people. That's what he said, that the curse is following them. Who told you that Igbos are not really that interested in becoming president? We started it. Leadership in Nigeria was led by Igbos. It was Zik that brought Nigeria out of the hands of the British. So, but British decided to punish Zik and the Igbos by what they did, of which Zik, to show his liberal attitude, said, okay, he was interested to liberate his people from the hands of the British. Say, okay, to calm these people's fears, let the North hold the position of the Prime Minister. Because North said they were not ready for independence. So all these things, is it envy? Is it jealousy, I will call it, or what? So just calm down and follow me. I will walk you through in this video. Don't be in a hurry. Especially if you're an Igbo person, calm down and get some information. Because these things we are doing, trying to disseminate some information to you guys, it's not that we don't have time to do other things, but we feel that it will benefit everybody by so doing. So I myself, I make out time to do some of these things because keeping quiet is not helping the matters. Yes, it is not in those days. This time we try to make out time to respond and to bring out some of the salient issues that people want to know and people have interest in knowing. So let's continue.
Igbos, they are tired of this world called Nigeria. Hausa is not the problem, but the Igbos. Any Igbo can go against it. You can lambast me, you can insult me, it's not my business. It gives me courage, it gives me more glory and blessing. Your insult. Igbo, they are the problems of this country. They are desperate of power. They want to rule Nigeria at all cost. And I've not seen them ruling Nigeria, even in coming dispensation. Let them bring, when 10 trillion will come out. Igbos, they are betrayal of themselves. People cannot control Nigeria. Let's be realistic. Let's be honest with ourselves. But they don't understand. Instead of them to seek wisdom, they are flexing muscle. And that's not the answer. That's what Tinubu does not even know. Obasanjo, who is advocating for them, they are the one who spoil it. All these Obasanjo, Yakubu Gowon, who are they? Many of them. So Obasanjo wants to make an amendment now, when it's too late. Tell the Baba to go and sleep. We can't make any amendments. Igbo, there is an error at the beginning. A curse is on you. If you don't reverse that curse, Igbo, you can't be president of anything in Nigeria. Note and underline wisdom, understanding, knowledge.
So I don't know if that man drank kai, very cheap, chemical before talking to his congregations there. I don't know why he did that. But having said that, no wahala. I have some things I want to show you guys that will explain more, explain more what is really is the situation so that nobody will come to your face and talk rubbish to you. Let's listen to this.
Igbos are the problem of this country. Yes, you heard me right. I am here to prove it. The Igbo man has refused to accept any other religion except Christianity and traditional religion. That's one problem. The Igbo man rejects political leaders that are substandard or with less integrity. That's another problem. A particular Igbo man has character, competence, and capacity, and is internationally recognized, but here they see him as a threat. This Igbo man is so humble that he once took advice from a madman to solve a problem, and yet they ridicule him. Each time the Igbo man speaks, he tends to prove his point by asking them to go and verify. Yet they call him a liar. The Igbo man is the only politician with a claim that he has never stolen public fund. Nobody has challenged this claim. This Igbo man has the capacity to solve our problem, but they keep accusing him of his brother's offense 60 years ago. They tell him, we can't give you the job because your brother offended us 60 years ago. Are they not fools? Just like a sinking ship. You refuse a good sailor to save you because his family member offended you 60 years ago. When something happens, they will be waiting for the speech and reaction of this Igbo man, even though he is not the president. They know that sincerely, this Igbo man is a good man, but they refuse to admit it. Why are they hypocritical in nature? They went as far as accusing him of inviting President Trump to our country. Is this Igbo man really that powerful? Igbos buy land, build on it, and develop the area. Yet they demolish these properties and call Igbos land grabbers. This Igbo man was once accused of donating 15 million naira to the less privileged and was banned from entering the state again. This Igbo man was also accused of calling a traditional ruler my senior brother. To call someone my senior brother became an offense. Another Igbo man in 1967 proposed for restructuring at Aburi, which later led to war. The same restructuring we are asking for now. Another Igbo man in 2017 warned us on the impending security threat ahead. This Igbo man is in jail now. The Igbo man is only asking for good governance and good well-being for everyone. They tag them whalers. The Igbo man is only asking for free and fair elections so that our votes will count. They tag them rebels. When the Igbo man speaks up and criticizes the vices in the society, they tag him unpatriotic. The Igbo man is the only one who can boldly stand and challenge those blood-sucking marauders, yet others don't see their values. The Igbos are the major force holding the country together. If not, other tribes would have been conquered. The Igbo man is not your problem. The Igbo man is trying to solve your problem. This is pure fact. You can see that the Igbos have tried severally to save us, but we misjudged them. Are we still going to miss this last chance? Thank you all. What have the Igbos done to you to warrant hatred? Someone should talk to me. We are here to discuss unity.
The Igbos are land grabbers. They have almost half of Lagos and other cities in this country. What about that?
Do they steal the land? Do they pay the owners? Don't they buy those lands? Is it an offense to buy property with your money? Let me remind you that the investment of Igbos were seized in the name of abandoned properties. You should be the guilty one here, not trying to blame someone who bought item with his money, or you stop selling to them. Unfortunately, you pretend not to see the main land grabbers who pay people and collect their lands. Don't you see them? It's a shame that you fight someone who buys from you, but romance someone pay you and collect by force. That's hypocrisy. Any other point why your hatred on Igbos are justified? Nobody has given a tangible reason so far. My own is simple. Igbos are too proud. They are always bragging about everything. I hate that lifestyle. My dear, don't be intimidated by the Igbos lifestyle. Yes, we are proud for a reason. Imagine being successful with 20 pounds. Right. We were given 20 pounds to start life, and today we have turned the 20 pounds to billions of naira. Won't you brag about it? Again, what you call pride is not arrogance. It is our nature. Igbos adopted the leopard as our symbol for a reason. I will explain. Leopard is known for independence. Like the leopard, the Igbo spirit thrives on self-reliance and personal achievement. Leopard is intelligent. The leopard wins through strategy, just as the Igbo value wisdom over noise. What about authority? The leopard symbolizes dignity and leadership, much like Igbo traditional prestige. You must also mention adaptability. Wherever it goes, the leopard survives, just as Igbo people excel wherever they settle. Think about quiet strength. The leopard moves silently but acts decisively, reflecting Igbo strength through results. We must mention courage. The leopard does not fear confrontation, mirroring the Igbo history of resilience and defense. Most importantly is identity. The leopard's unique marks reflect the Igbo pride in culture, heritage, and identity. You can see that what you misjudge as pride and arrogance is just our nature. In is in our vein. No apology to anyone. Shall we proceed with my question? Tell me what Igbos have done wrong to you that make you to hate them so much. The Igbos said that Lagos is no man's land. Is that not insulting to our Yoruba authority? There you got it wrong. If you are familiar with history, you should know that the phrase was first used by former governor of Lagos. It was Governor Jakonde who stated that Lagos is no man's land. It didn't come from the Igbos. Check your history well. Some Igbos said that on social media. Doesn't mean that Igbos said that Lagos is no man's land. You are looking for excuses. The last speaker is from Ekiti. So are you claiming Lagos? Lagos is southwest. Doesn't mean Ekiti man should claim it either. Why not allow the owners of Lagos to lead the fight if they are not happy that someone said that Lagos is no man's land? Why is Oyo man shouting up and down as if Lagos is his state? You claim what is not yours but turn to call someone land grabber for buying land. That's hypocrisy at its peak. Well, let me have more points. Why do you hate Igbos so much that most of you are now obsessed with Igbos?
During elections, Igbos don't support our candidates. They will always vote for candidates we didn't support. They are rebels.
I am glad you raised the point. Let me use the opportunity to educate you on democracy. People make their own choices. You don't impose candidates on people. On the part of Igbos, an Igbo doesn't support substandard leaders or unaccountable leaders. They go against any leader who is not standard enough. The Igbos are Republican in nature. They always go for the best, even at village level. Any other point to justify your hatred on Igbos? No point raised so far has been meaningful enough. I need points that make sense. Igbos destroy Lagos properties during NSAS protests. Is that reason not good enough to justify our hatred on them? Honestly, you are being unfair to Igbos. How was that Igbos protest? Remember, the protest started at Warri before circulating to other parts of the country. Warri is not Igbo land. Then in Lagos, it was peaceful until there was shooting at Lekki toll gate. Most conveners of the protests were Yorubas. So, how did you turn to blame Igbos on the protest against SARS brutality, which affected everyone in the country? This is one of your propaganda against Igbos. That was how some of you linked the Kwara issue to IPOB. Your media used propaganda to tag 1966 coup and Igbo coup, even when the participants of that coup have come out openly to debunk it. You insist that Nzogu was an Igbo man that plotted coup, yet you turn to say that Nzogu's village in Delta is not Igbo. You said that Aguiyi is the cause of Nigerian problem. How? Aguiyi introduced unitary system, but go on changing federalism. We've had other military regimes and democracy since then, yet you still blame a man that left the world 60 years ago. What a shame. You keep talking about the coup that happened 60 years ago, but you are afraid to talk about the one that almost happened this year. Cowards! Your propaganda against Ojukwu is that Ojukwu caused civil war. You don't even mention that Gowon failed to implement Aburi agreement. In Aburi, Ojukwu and Gowon agreed on restructuring, where every region would control its resources. But your father refused. You know that this was what caused the war, but you have refused to talk about it the way it is. You shy away from the truth. And now you are asking for the same restructuring which your father rejected 60 years ago. Is that not hypocrisy? Think about the Igbos must go protest you have always agitated for. We claim one Nigeria, yet you harbor such thoughts in your heart. Well, for sure, Igbos will leave Lagos one day. But remember the street of Lagos during Christmas period. You think you can survive without Igbos? How many Igbo man's shops have you demolished? How many of their buildings have you destroyed? What about shops that got burnt? Remember, they bought those properties with their money. They invested heavily on those places, yet you keep destroying them. Your mother said it in 2019 that you would convert the investments of Igbos to your properties. And it is happening now. Your father threatened with Lagoon how he will push them into it. It happened during 2023 election. We claim to be in one Nigeria. What about the infamous Asaba massacre which your uncle spearheaded? Your uncle pied thousands of unarmed innocent civilians. All of you are happy to hear that your daddy initiated the policy that cut food supply, which led to the pain of millions of Biafrans. It is a shame that while Nigerians are calling for electoral reform to ensure free and fair election, some of you are supporting the usual rigging system. Even when Nigerians protested against bad governance, you refused to participate as if you are not facing the same hardship. As others were protesting against hardship, you initiated your own protest on Igbo must go as if your problem is Igbo. Even when President Trump and Americans have enough evidence on Christian persecution in Nigeria, you still find a way to blame Igbos. Even in the church, you still show your hatred on Igbos. A priest stopped church service in Yoruba land because Igbo son was raised. A Nigerian player missed the penalty and you blame the entire Igbo, forgetting that a Yoruba player missed the penalty for World Cup qualification. I can tell you 2,000 ways Yorubas have offended Igbos, but you can't point out a single way Igbo man has offended you. It has gotten worse to the extent that you now transfer the hatred to any Yoruba person who doesn't hate Igbos. What a shame. Imagine your propaganda that an Igbo man pie an Hausa man. Even the person who pie the Hausa man is from Benue. Remember, your attack and propaganda make us stronger. You leave your business to face Igbos. We have not offended you. No matter how hard you try, you can't point out a single way we have offended you. All the things you mentioned have no basis. The only offense of an Igbo man is that he came to your land to progress, and that brings jealousy, envy, and acrimony. Let me say this finally. Messi is marked, Ronaldo is tackled, but nobody cares about useless players. The same is applied to the Igbos. People that carry great destiny attract attention just as the Igbos do. Ponder over this. Remember,
I don't know
as
what
leopards,
the Igbos have
cannot be
done to
intimidated. I am off.
them, Yorubas, that has drawn much hatred to the Igbos. I don't know why. What we have done wrong. Have we committed offense by coming to their land to develop it? Have we committed any offense? Igbos are known to move around everywhere to develop. Yes, we don't look back. We don't check who owns this place. We will go there and develop it and build the best house, that place. But it's like people are seeing it as mumu. We don't know what we are doing, but that is our way. Anywhere we are, we will develop it and make ourselves comfortable. Then people there, their eyes will open. When their eyes open, they become envious of what the Igbos are doing. It's natural. It's natural. It's in the bone. It's in the bone marrow. Nobody can take it away. No matter the type of envy, the jealousy, the amount of it you have, it will not take it away. It is natural. Yes. So having said that, watch. They thought the Igbo man will start begging as their people used to beg on the streets when they seized Igbo properties everywhere in Nigeria. When they do the unthinkables to the Igbos, they thought that the Igbos will stay begging them for food. But we are not like that. Igbos are not genetically modified to be like that. It is not. It can never be done. The son of a lion doesn't eat grass. Yes, he must eat his food. That's the way it is. So we are not power hungry. Just that what they are doing there is affecting our life. The people they put in power, their useless policies are affecting our good life. That is our only problem. If they are doing well, we will not bother. But because they are not doing well, things are not working out well, that's why we see us to struggle to, trying to correct some wrongs that is going on. This thing that Peter Obi, personally, Peter Obi, even if he wins, he's going there to suffer. He's just going there to suffer. That is the point. Things that have been messed up from bottom to up has been messed up. He wants to go there to start doing what? Start doing what? Well, for me alone, let everybody go his own way. That is it. That is the gentleman's way. Then we start our lives. Because this thing we are doing here, nothing will come out of it. 60-something years ago up to now, has anything good come out of it? The answer is no. So we better think twice. Let us utilize this opportunity that America is here and do something reasonable for our lives. That is the way I see it all. So let's watch this. By the time we come back, we'll call it a day.
I can go on and on and on to tell you that what Yoruba is speaking today is corrupted Igbo. Corrupted Igbo. I speak Yoruba fluently. So he migrated and found himself to the present location known as Ile-Ife today. Ulo Ife. Ulo Ife. Ile is Ulo. That is house where something took place and happened. Now, with the Dahomey women that he fought with, he married so many of the Dahomey women, which corrupted the language of Igbo. Today, in Yoruba language, Ono is mouth, Eno in Igbo is Ono. Eti is ear in Yoruba. In Igbo is Nte. Imi is nose in Igbo. In Yoruba is Imu. Ire is tongue in Igbo. In Yoruba is Ale. What is Gini in Igbo? In Yoruba is Kini. Okute is stone in Igbo. In Yoruba is Okuta. Ewu in Igbo is goat. In Yoruba is Ewure. I can go on and on and on to tell you that what Yoruba is speaking today is corrupted Igbo. Corrupted Igbo. I speak Yoruba fluently. I can tell you to clap your hands. Ekwatewo in Yoruba. Ekwatewo, ekwatewo. Kwanaka. Clap your hands. Say me, will say, people will say, oh me, which is water. Will say me from my own tongue. Me. This one will say, oh me, which is water. So that was what happened. At the point of moving out, the so-called Oduduwa, he was given a mark. Igbo man, the week in Igbo cosmology is 8 days, not 7. We have Nkwanta, Nkuku, Ekenta, Ekuku, Orienta, Oriuku, Afonta, Afuku, making 8. He was given a mark, Nkwo, Eke, Orie, Afo. Nkwo, Eke, Orie. That's the original Yoruba mark. To be able to identify him wherever you see him, then ask them, what is the meaning of Oduduwa? What is the meaning in Yoruba? It has no meaning. But in Igbo, it has meaning Oduduwa. Because in a prince like you, come on, do Shinumpo. Come do the Punga, Odudu Mweze, Odudu Nefe, Lepe Mweze, and Kwako Oduduare. Come on, do the Punga, also. Odudu Mweze, Odudu Wa. Alone, oh, here Odudu Mweze, okay, okay, hey, Chineke, hi, Odudu Wa, hi. Then I call it Odudu Wa. It has no meaning in Igbo. If we talk about Orameni, all those type of things they're talking about, Oduduwa.
Namdin Kanu say my people are being marginalized. You went to kidnapping in Kenya. The same thing Sunday Boy is fighting for. The same thing Aziz is fighting for. The same thing Namdi Kanu is fighting for. So why is Namdi Kanu different that you sentence him? You are beating the drum that you cannot dance. And when it comes, I and you will be here. The way you call Igbo said, Igbo never opened their mouth to say Lagos is no man's land. That word was spoken by Alhaji Lateef Jakande, the former executive governor of Lagos State. May his soul rest in perfect peace. He said it wasn't Igbo people. Let Igbo breathe. Igbo this, Igbo that, Igbo this, Igbo that. What is wrong? You go to Ondo, go to all this northern part of Nigeria, go and see what the Igbo people do there. Go to Kano, go to Futawa Baliwa Square, go to Tafa Baliwa Street, go to Southern Kaduna, Kafansha, Kagoro, Gidanwaya, Godogodo, Mancho, go and see. In my state, in Ondo, come and see what Igbo people are doing there. Igbo people, they will turn desert to the city. But what do we do? I'm a Yoruba man. When Yoruba make money in abroad, they go home, they say Lela Bosimioko, but anywhere Igbo man find themselves, that is where they belong. They build the place. So until you realize that your politician, Igbo has no problem. And I can tell you, if they separate themselves today, me and you, we are here. But why are you still afraid of giving them? Look at me, screen record me. I don't care. I'm a typical Omo Yoruba ni mi, abi mi londo, mo dagba sondo. Let me tell you my pedigree nondo. Emi Omo Lujo mo dobore so de owo pa. So me not think say na one Igbo guy dey talk. And I've been in this job of military for 35 years. I have 2 years to go. So until we begin to tell ourselves the truth, that Igbo is not our problem, but the politician, your vice president today, these are the people that started Boko Haram, Kasim Shettima, himself and Modu Sharif. But today, it's your vice president. Your president's son sitting one by one with Gumi, eating cola. You didn't say anything, but you keep mentioning Igbo, 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 Igbo. You push Igbo people to the wall, and that's why they went back. Look, moderator, I'm really hot. Let me stop here, because if I'm beginning to talk, I mean...
Sheuna know this boy, where they open mouth anyhow, they run mouth, papa, like spoiled tap. You don't go jam, you don't go jam SK finish him. You know if you talk anything. You know fit open mouth to talk anything. No, the only Janjaweed. When he learn from Onan the Kano, now he just they talk. Yeah, useless boy. The boy not just get sense at all. Maybe they don't give him 100,000, 500,000 every day. You know, go allow person
to hear word. Explain the reason why you are wearing this cap. I'm telling you, you are a national disgrace, idiot. You are a fool.
If people are afraid to call you out, I call you out by
myself.
myself.
To your family. In short, let me not even say shame to even. Don't allow me to be brutal with this idiot. I would have wanted to say shame to even your mother that have died that you can't attend. I'm telling you, you are a monkey.
You are a Janjaweed.
You are a bastard.
You will remain a Janjaweed.
Idiot. And people like you, I am telling you, if I have my way between God and man, I will castrate you, motherfuckers, if the law stops me from unaliving you, idiot.
I assure you that you remain
I'm telling you, you are a bastard. You are a disgrace to humanity. Very foolish idiot.
You are a Janjaweed.
You are a bastard. Yes, I agree, I'm a Janjaweed. Let's put it to test constructively. You monkey,
and you remain a Janjaweed.
Monkey that has been bought.
Look at Janjaweed. When other parts of Nigerians are talking, you want to come and talk.
You don't expect integrity from a peasant. The last time I checked, you look like a peasant motherfucker.
How can Janjaweed talk when Nigerians are talking?
And that is why you idiot is carrying this cap that doesn't have a honor, that doesn't have anything to prove to the betterment of humanity.
Look at you,
but you idiot. You are shameless.
We will expose all of you. We will expose all of you.
Bastard.
You
are a bastard.
Trying to partner with Igbo to destroy Nigeria.
You are a disgrace to your children if you have one. You are a disgrace to your parents, both living and dead.
We will expose all of you.
I am telling you, both living and dead, you are a disgrace to your parents.
See this Janjaweed.
You are a monkey.
Janjaweed trying to demarcate this country.
What do you have?
Janjaweed trying to demarcate this country.
Animal.
What
do you have? Animal.
Janjaweed trying to demarcate this country.
We're not enjoying anything.
Janjaweed trying to demarcate this country.
Nsima, what do you want?
Mute this idiot. Mute this monkey. This bagger.
Nsima, you listen. Nsima, all of us are Nigerians.
Very
we are all
stupid
Nigerians.
thing.
That is not true. That is not true. I'm asking you a question. What? Why are you people betraying Nnamdi Kanu? Why are you people betraying Nnamdi Kanu? Why are you not partnering with the
No, you betray your mother.
Why
You betray your mother. Forget about you betray your mother. You didn't go for the burial.
Why Igbos? Why Igbos
You betray your mother. You didn't go for the burial. It's a betrayal. Forget about
Okay, Nsima, do you want us to have a
Fucking bastard is here. I don't know why you're entertaining this bastard.
I am trying to educate people that we still have human beings like Nsima. People need to know that we still have people like Nsima.
Ask this idiot the basic stupid, the basic simple question. Why is he wearing this cap that he's wearing? Ask this idiot.
Oh, now you're explaining to me, host. Why
Let him prove it constructively. Why this idiot is wearing this cap he's wearing?
Listen, okay, can I talk? Okay, can I talk?
I'm asking you, answer me.
Let me reply.
Why didn't go your mother burial? Why didn't you go for burial? Why didn't you go for a burial?
Okay, can I reply?
Why did you go for your
All right, viewers, we are back from that. We are going to call it a day. Well, if you have not learned anything, you go back to the video and watch it again so that you grab one or two things about that video. Well, I am still Chinedu, your presenter, until I come your way this time. I say bye for now.